Hey guys, how's it going? Otaku Mike here, back again with another amazing episode of the Otakuology podcast. I am here with my heterosexual life partner, Jin Graves.
What up, guys?
What are we talking about today, Jin?
We're talking about the series that you forced me to read because we both own it. Um, Raw Hero.
Raw Hero. That's right. We are doing another manga chat discussion, whatever you want to call it. But first, how are you doing today, sir?
I just want everybody to know out there it's gonna get raw.
Raw. It's gonna get really raw.
It's gonna get really raw.
Yeah, I
I'm doing
think it
pretty good.
will. Yeah, that's
I'm
good.
doing pretty good. I wasn't expecting to read this one earlier today and be like, the hell is going on?
Well, I was like, because we had some stuff planned out, and I was like, well, let's read just this volume one and go for it.
Right.
Because we had other ones planned, and I mean, honestly, the other one that we have planned, I don't know. I don't know if it has the same impact as this one does, because this one's so out there,
I
and the
think
other
this
one's,
one. I think this one did have an impact, a big
yeah.
impact.
But how's your weekend been?
Pretty good. Ruined plans last night. We were gonna pod. I was like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what the hell? We were supposed to pod. We were supposed to pod, and you.
we were.
It was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, "Hey, we gonna pod?"
I
And
bet you were. I bet
and
you were like, this motherfucker's bedtime's not usually till 11, 12
and I,
o'clock.
and I was
Why
like,
is he already asleep?
it was like fucking silence.
Why is he already asleep?
Yeah, why is he asleep? This motherfucker said, "Hey, we're gonna podcast," and no podcast. Yeah,
Man, I was out, dead to the world. Just
yeah, it was. But I started I started previously a couple weeks ago watching the Invincible TV show.
right.
I watched like the first two episodes and I really enjoyed it. And we were looking for something to watch last night, and Kathleen was like, "Hey, look, you want to watch Invincible?" And I was like, "Uh, do I want to watch Invincible?" Because at the moment, your boy is on an invincible kick right now. I got my drug of choice is invincible, and I'm putting it straight into my veins because it's that fucking good. But we watched like the first, I want to say 4 or 5 episodes. I think it was the first 4 episodes we watched, and now she's hooked on it, and she wants to watch the rest of Invincible because it's that good. Like she was like, every time I thought it was gonna go one way, it was like and like went another way, and like
It's hilarious.
it like swerved and just went this other way. She really likes the fact that it's a cartoon and it's based on like adult subjects.
Right.
Because we all know when you have kids and you watch cartoons, um, some of them are quite boring.
Oh my god, that's so true.
You know, but
That's so
in
true. I mean,
yeah,
especially since I'm doing the Gravity Falls one, and I'm like, yes, this is very good. And then like we have to watch stuff on Disney Plus for my kid, and I'm like, what am I watching?
well, I mean, there's some stuff out there that's not bad. Like, like the Cartoon Network stuff kind of holds up. Um, I tried to show the kids like old Cartoon Network shit,
Right.
like Dexter and stuff, and Johnny Bravo, and
Yeah, but that's because that was from like our day and age.
yeah. But I mean,
Like
like,
like some of the newer stuff, I think we could probably burn it. I tried watching this. Tried watching this thing the other day where it's like in a garden, and
uh-huh.
it's four friends. It's a rock, a strawberry, a stick, and a leaf,
hmm
and they're all sitting there trying to do all this stuff. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So it's all kind of based around what they are and stuff. And at some point, I didn't even catch it, but the stick and the leaf were like, "Hey, such and such, you should do this." And he goes, "Well, I can't do that. Why not? Because you're my brother, and that that would be wrong or something." And I was like, "They're related? When did this happen? I'm really confused."
Yeah, I don't know what you're
So
talking about.
I don't, I don't know.
I try to
If if I find it, I'll remind you to avoid it because it was.
I mean, I gotta be honest. I try to avoid my children's TV shows like The Plague.
Oh my god! Right.
I think the only thing that we actually love watching together is the Mighty Ducks Game Changers TV show because it's that fucking good.
Well, so I'm almost done with season one for recording. Spoiler alert for all you guys listening. Uh, so whenever you watch like show season whatever episode 1 season 19 or whatever it is, you guys listen to that, then y'all can be like, man, Jen recorded this back in like April. So
Uh,
spoiler alert,
well, didn't
just
she
for that.
record it like a week or two ago?
It's hey, that was back in April, okay?
Yeah, like a day ago.
Yeah, back in April, like I
Okay,
said.
okay, whatever, whatever.
So, you know, but from the 3 that we had on there or whatever, I've watched 16 and tried to record a show for all those. So, I'm a little excited because now I'm about to get into one that you would really consider like an adult cartoon, which is one that you and I kind of talked about, Bob's Burgers. So, I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited to actually have one that has more adult jokes and stuff
Hmm.
and things like that that will be a lot more.
So, are you gonna finish out Gravity Falls first and then go to Bob's Burger?
We're just gonna fill out season 1,
Oh,
and then I'll go back to it at some point.
oh. But what if our fans just want to hear you talk about Gravity Falls?
Hey, listen, like I said, I watched 16 episodes in the span of like 2 weeks. Okay, by the time we get there, I'm sure it'll already be recorded.
I guess it's good that I'm pacing myself on the comic reviews that I'm doing because I mean I've got like 30 something issues to read of Invincible, and like I just got done reading issue 5 for the podcast.
Yeah.
Even though I'm far way like ahead of what I've done already, I like to pace myself, and I like to try to put out maybe like one or two a month.
Oh, I feel like I have like a whole nother persona. Like in my profile pictures that I put in a lot of stuff with my headband and my glasses and stuff. I'll sit there and put the glasses on, sit there, stage like I'm gonna drink a cup of coffee, even though I don't drink coffee. It'll have something else in it, and I'll sit there with my notepad, and as I'm watching, I'll try and write notes and shit down, and try and be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what I want to bring up and what I want to talk about.
All right. So
So
we kind of bullshitted. I mean, I don't have anything else to talk about really. Uh,
yeah,
I did buy a I did buy a Gundam today.
was an expensive Gundam.
Uh, I bought an HG Leo
Oh yeah,
from Gundam Wing. Yeah, I went to Hobby Lobby and I needed a new modeling knife, and I was like, well, I I guess I'll get it at this HG kit and try it out.
I
I
got
mean,
I got to think. There was one store that I went into the other day, and I was like, when the hell did they start carrying like Gundams and stuff?
oh
And
yeah,
I was gonna message you, and I was like,
their distributor, because they have that new distributor, Bluefin.
yeah,
They've been going to just being distributed to a lot more places. I mean, it's a lot more like the popular kits that are out. It's like HG
yeah.
kits and stuff like that. Like,
I wanna say I saw it at Target
yeah,
when
Target
I
actually
used to.
Target started carrying Gundams.
Yeah, and I mean the only place I could find them at before was like Target's website.
Yeah.
You know, so That was
Yeah,
one thing I was like, the hell is all this stuff?
yeah. I don't know if our Targets carry them, but I do know Targets have started to carry a small selection of Gundam, like Gunpla.
Yeah, it almost seems like Barnes and Noble, like it's the same like five that you see.
I think it's a little bit bigger because they actually have tools and stuff as well, like clippers and
Uh,
stuff.
I didn't see that. I saw two different model kits, and I think one
Okay.
of them I already had, and the other one
Oh.
was for another one that I probably didn't care about, another line that I'm not going to get into.
Mm. Yeah,
So
I got the Leo. I debated on whether or not to get the those Transformers kits that you see every now and then.
yeah,
They're not made by Bandai; they're made by somebody else. And I was like, I was looking at the Optimus Prime model kit, and I was like, it looks really cool, and I kind of want it, but I don't want to spend $45 on a kit I might not enjoy.
that's true.
I'll have to do some research on it because those things are expensive. It's like $45 to $55.
Right. One of my friends keeps trying to figure out if he's going to buy one or not because he's a toy collector, and
Uh huh.
he'll go in and get different figures, and then if he's got like multiples of the same figures, he'll go in and do like a separate paint job on one of them or try and make them look different.
Yeah.
And so he was telling me about that, and I said, "Well, why don't you get a model?" He goes, "I've looked at them," but he goes, "I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, the
It's like
models are
one more
really
thing,
nice. Like, they look nice.
right?"
Like, they look really nice in the pictures. I'm just gonna do some research probably and like check out some reviews on them because
Right,
they had like Starscream and Bumblebee and Megatron and Optimus Prime, and I was like,
right,
they look really cool. But, like, I want to know like how big they are and what do they compare to, like what size they are, and like between like an HG or a like a MG size kit,
right.
And I want to know what I'm getting for it, like $50.
Yeah. Hey, I'll slide you a fiver just so you can cut the tape open and pop that bad boy open so I can get a quick look at what I'm working with.
I mean, they have clear pictures on the backs and
Yeah,
stuff, so like you get like you see everything that's in there. When it comes to, like they have all pictures of all the runners, so I
right.
mean they're pretty like accessible to see what you get. I'm just curious to see like how well it looks compared to the pictures.
That's true. Because all those pictures are like hand painted or something.
I don't know about that. I know they're professionally done. But without further ado, I think we've chatted quite a while. We are talking about Raw Hero Volume 1. So let's
Right,
get into this and talk about some Raw Hero.
right. And I understand this, why you like it, in the simple words from Gollum or Schmeagol from Lord of the Rings. You just liked it raw and wriggling.
All right, welcome back. And we are talking about Raw Hero Volume 1. So this is written and drawn by Akira Hiramoto. I think I said that right.
Yeah, Hiramoto.
No, know who Akira Hiramoto is. He is the prolific mangaka of a little known manga called Prison School. If you don't know what Prison School is, go look it up. There's another manga that he did. I don't remember what it was called. It was like a jazz.
Let's just say if y'all find the manga series, it's thick
It's
with
thick.
with with three C's. Okay, three
It,
C's,
you,
not two, three, and no K. There's no K. It's just three C's.
each volume's like an omnibus. It's like two
Yeah,
volumes of manga.
right. That's one of the ones that I would joke about if I was going to slap a friend in the face because they said something stupid. I'd probably hit them with a prison school manga.
All right, so let me give you the synopsis. I don't remember when exactly Raw Hero came out, but I don't think that's necessarily we need to tell anybody that.
It came out like last year.
Yeah, but I don't remember when exactly it came. I know it came out last year over here.
Oh, originally,
Yeah.
there is no telling.
So let's get into this. So a portion of humanity has obtained special abilities, and two groups emerge in conflict. On the side of justice are heroes, and on the side of villainy are monsters. For Chiaki, however, all that matters is finding work to support his younger brothers, but when a simple train ride to his latest interview takes a perverse turn, his sense of right leads him down an unexpected and uncomfortable path from the minds that brought you prison school comes a raw new story of a man caught between good and evil, lies and truth, and light and shadows. So let's get into this, Jen. Volume 1. How does Volume 1 start out?
Oh my god. I didn't even read the back of this. So
Uh,
when you were reading that, I was like, oh my god, I knew all this happened. So this starts out kind of like it's this main guy Chizaki
mhm.
and his two brothers
I
sitting
think his
there.
name's like Chiaki, I think his name is.
Okay,
Sorry.
Chiaki.
Yeah.
Okay, Chiaki. And he's sitting at the dinner table with both of his brothers.
Hmm.
Come to find out, like both their parents are gone, so Chiaki is the breadwinner of the family right now.
Yeah.
Both of his brothers are younger. They both go to school, and they're trying to figure out what to do. And Chizaki has put this on himself and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm the oldest. You guys focus on school. Nobody else get a job. I'll
Hmm.
find something." And he
Yeah.
kind of goes through a couple interviews of not getting anything. He's kind of promised this one,
Hmm.
and um, and then we get the kind of part where, like you read in the description on the back of
So
the train ride.
yeah, so I wanted to scooch it back just a little bit. When we meet Chiaki, um, obviously, he is the older brother. Did they say whether or not he was in high school or if he was of in college? Like they don't ever like state that he is in school at the moment. Did he?
No, I think he would be in college age
Uh huh.
to do that, but because of how the story is laid out, he hasn't gone to college.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and so Chiaki and his brothers are obviously on. They have no form of income, and they are living in pretty deplorable position. Like uh,
Yeah, it's like a rundown, like little,
yeah,
um,
it's like a rundown like apartment or something.
yeah,
They're living in like these deplorable conditions, and they're trying to scrounge and save money. At one point, his brother offers to do paper and um, like a paper route kind of thing.
right.
But there's this one thing that I caught when I was reading it the second time. They go to pay their respects to their father because they get into a fight at one point,
It's both
eh,
their parents.
but we only see the father.
Yeah, I think it's because he was the only one smiling.
But they didn't show the mother or talk about the mom. They
No,
just they just
they just showed both the picture frames that were sitting up there.
oh, there were two picture frames. I only saw the one picture frame.
Yeah, there's supposed to be two picture frames when they're sitting in front of the altar,
Hmm.
and then they do that close up one of their dad,
Okay.
where
Okay.
you can't see his face, but you see his smile.
All right. Okay. So I guess I must have missed that. So yeah, Chiaki is kind of down on his luck. I'm really curious as to how they're paying for stuff. I'm guessing their parents probably left them like an inheritance or something of some
I don't,
kind,
I don't,
possibly.
I don't think so, unless it's already run out. Because you know how they originally got into the fight was the middle brother
Hmm.
asked for uh asked for them to be able to ask the uncle for money again,
Yeah.
And so
And he made a point. Chiaki made a point of not wanting to go back and ask him for reasons that we don't know exactly.
I really think it's kind of that just dutiful son thing.
Like pride, like too much pride.
Yeah, like we can't ask again. We
Yeah.
already have asked, you know.
hmm But they have a conversation while Chiaki is leaving, and he's like, "Yeah, we'll get some chicken skewers or whatever from the restaurant, and I'll bring them home for dinner." And we get this conversation with him and his younger brother, and he's like, instead of buying chicken skewers, why
No, no,
don't you?
this is the middle brother.
Yeah, the middle brother. That's what I meant. Why don't you buy our youngest brother like shoes or like a bag, like a
Yeah,
gym
gym
bag,
bag.
so he could carry his stuff in and whatnot? So we transitioned from that when he's going to get on the train, and he's on the train minding his own business. He's going to be early for his interview. Jen, what does our boy Chiaki run into on the train?
So he finds a staged cosplay groper scene.
Explain.
Right?
Explain
This
this.
was the beginning of the downfall for me reading this, I'll tell you that. So basically like God, I feel like we're just gonna go out in a blaze of glory. But anyway, so it's this guy reading a newspaper and he's fingering this girl's butt.
so
I
so
mean
he's so
I mean I mean, because I was sitting there like, and they do the close up just like they do
he's
in
he's got
prison
his hand
school.
all up on her crotch.
No, no, it's in the bag.
Well, it's kind of both, I think.
Because I was sitting there like, where is your hand at?
Okay, so to set this up, Chiaki is like on the train, and he sees this guy, and he's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "Oh my god, is that what I think it is? Is that a groper?" Because let's be honest, in a lot of Japanese media, and they have this in their society as well. There's
It's
a
true.
big problem with groping on trains and sexual assault on trains.
Right.
It goes
And most of it's due to the large crowds that have to get on the
Yeah,
subways and stuff.
it's so bad as even there are train cars specifically for just women in Japan. That's how bad the sexual assault groping aspect is. So he calls this person out, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He goes to grab his hand, and he's like, I'm gonna like report you to the police. You need to get off at the next stop." They get off at the next stop, and what happens, Jen?
He explains the situation
What is the situation?
that they were playing out this
They were
perverted scene.
they were role playing a groping scene, and while he is standing there,
Like I said, it all went downhill.
while he is standing there explaining to Chiaki, we're just gonna call him Captain because I don't remember what his actual name is. He has a really long name. He's the captain basically. While he's standing there, he continuously he continuously gropes the woman he is with in public, standing in front of Chiaki like
Well,
nothing is wrong.
let's just not mince words here. Okay, so the first scene we have where they first get off, he's grabbing her boob. Okay,
Yeah.
that's one thing. That's that kind of whatever it is.
It's like he's on the side, like they're like side to side, and
And
he's
then
like coming around with his hand, going honk honk, honk honk.
right, right. And then somehow he travels down south from the back again.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All while keeping eye contact with Chiaki, and
and having a serious conversation with
Yeah.
Chiaki.
I laughed so hard, like, at this moment. I thought it was so fucking funny. That was funny.
Jesus Christ.
Just
Well,
the,
so the one part that I had to keep laughing at was where
oh,
he would bring it up and he'd go, "You didn't catch me just once, Grobinger. You caught me twice."
yes. And then Chucky proceeds to tell him, like, oh my God, I'm going to be late for my interview. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need this interview. He's like, oh, you need this interview? Let me help you out. I'll get my driver to help you. And let me talk to the person who's going to interview you.
Oh God.
What happens on this phone call, Jen?
Oh man, they can't tell the guy like what it is exactly because
He
every
tells
time
him, he tells him.
I know, but they can't exactly tell the guy because every time they bring it up, the guy's like, "What?
He's like, no,
That? So there was a groper?"
there's two gropers? What?
Yeah, I mean, like it would be like if any of us had a date or whatever, and we had to call and leave that for one of our bosses or something. You know, it's
So so he basically ruins the interview chance for Chiaki. And he's like,
right.
hey, um, you have very uh, good perception on looking at like seeing things and whatnot.
You have a
Um,
sense of
a
justice,
sense of justice. So let me offer you a job. Come work for me. And they go and sit down at like a diner of some kind. And while this is going on, they're having their conversation about said job. He works for the, what does he work for? I can't remember what it's called. The
the
JMT,
yeah,
correct?
yeah, justice something,
Justice Management Team, which is like part of the police. And he is basically offering Chiaki a job. And he's like, I'll give you 1 million yen a month or something like that
yeah,
to go do this thing. And it's a top secret mission. Nobody can know about it. You're not going to be officially part of our organization, kind of. You're not going to be out with superheroes and whatnot, because there's a superhero that shows up, which was
right,
pretty,
standing outside,
yeah, just pretty funny. And he's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just so weird. This man offers me a job, and
right, and I can't really agree with somebody so lewd. Like it just sounds like it's fake.
yeah, it just sounds too good to be true, type of thing. While this is all going on, the captain is still groping the
Right,
woman next to him.
somebody's hand gets a little testy again.
And he's like, come on, like he even points out, he's like, come on, even while we're having this conversation, you can't help yourself from touching said woman.
Right, and then
Obviously, they're,
he goes, ah,
yeah,
you didn't catch me this twice. You caught me 3 times now.
yeah. And so we transition from that. Chiaki's like, he kind of like, is like, okay, like, I don't want nothing to do with this. But he's like, the captain says, well, think about it, basically.
Right,
On his way home, he sees
contact
his,
me later.
yeah, contact me later, basically. On his way home, he sees his little brother, and his little brother was at his little brother was at like a friend's house. And his friend tries to give him like a drawstring bag, I think it was.
Yeah, for his gym bag.
And he's like, no, I don't want to take it. I already have a bag. I have my trash bag.
Right, which I think this was one of the scenes that like really made me feel bad about the whole
That
situation.
was one of the saddest moments.
Because
I
you
th-
see that and you like get his sense of pride of it too. And then right as
yeah.
Shizaki walks up to him, you know, he says, "Oh hey, whatever his name is,"
Yeah.
and he turns around and it's like he's started to cry and everything. He wipes his tears
Mhm.
away real quick because he's like, "You don't have to be strong for my brothers, and they can't see this."
Mhm.
So
And then they come home and he's still mulling over this decision on what to do. And you can see him, He's even trying to help out by making his brother a gem bag, which is pretty nice, and it
And they
shows that he actually
and
cares about them.
they did have chicken skewers that night
They
too.
did. They did, which his brother got onto him about that as well, for wasting money, basically. Which they
Right.
only had three.
Yes.
They only had three.
Yeah. We find out more about that later on. You know, he does one of these kind of sort of jobs, and we find out that it goes from 3 to 10,
Yeah.
and so there's kind of more of a replenished.
Hmm.
Hey, this there's more that is good that's going on now, um, as he's gotten this job and stuff as it goes farther into it.
Yeah, that's true. And he goes, and he decides to go for the job, and the captain is basically like, okay, this is what you're going to do. I have everything set up for you. You're going to go to this, uh, it's like a locker, and get this briefcase out of the locker, or just like a suitcase.
Which this scene totally made me think about the scene in Men in Black where they try and go to the locker. I think it's
Oh,
in Men in
yeah.
Black 2. And I was like, what the hell's going to be in the locker?
Yeah, I was really, that was really weird, um, to see. So he gets the briefcase, and he's like, okay, what do I got to do? And this is where you thought the groping was the
The, wor-
cherry on the
the worst
on the
the worst
pervy
part?
Sunday. So he has this whole identity made up for Chiaki, and like he has like plans and what you're gonna do and stuff like that, because he has to go infiltrate this secret organization. There's like the it was like the Superpower Liberation Front or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think there was one other word for it,
I
but
was trying to look for it in my notes, but I can't find it up the top. It was something Liberation Front, like Super People or something like that.
yeah,
And they're obviously the bad guys, because they feel like the government is hiding things about superpowered people away and not truly explaining what the superpowered people are and stuff like that. They're hiding it from the normal, like the citizens.
right.
So he goes to get changed, and this is where we get our twist on what exactly this manga is about.
The,
Chiaki, the
the
suitcases get mixed up, and Chiaki has to cross dress as a female in order to infiltrate this secret organization.
and it's something with an A. I think it's her name is Akami.
Hold on, let me look and see. Keep talking.
It's Akami Shishiwara or Suzawa or something. Um,
It's it's
Shirazawa.
it's Anami Shirazawa.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because I just know at one point he goes, "That was my stage name."
Oh, it's Amane. It's Amane.
Okay, yeah, that they only mentioned it like once, and I was like, "Does this actually play into
Yeah,
anything?"
so I'm gonna read this out. He finds a piece of paper with like a drawing on it. It's like Amane Shirazawa, 14-year-olds or so body type. Uh, it starts like white hair about butt length, dark blue dress, gets lighter towards the bottom, and starts explaining stuff about her and how she was like a wannabe idol and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh my god, what do I gotta do?" So this character that he has to pretend to be is actually the Cap's lady friend, his special made role playing character that he made for his lady friend. I don't know if they're a girl, if like they're an item, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever.
No, she's
I think she might be a prostitute.
Yeah, she's like an escort because at one point,
Yeah, at one
when
point she says, "You got to pay me more."
yeah, he's like, I might need you to smack me, and she goes, well, that's not usually in the job description, but you know,
So he continues with um, this ruse, and he goes to an office building where we see three individuals working for this evil organization: an elephant guy and two women. Jen, what happens in this interview? Tell me how this interview goes for poor Chiaki.
so he just starts to like bomb it. I mean, bomb it hard. Hey, we don't have to do anything like that. Nope. You know, you might not be what we're looking for,
He didn't have his resume.
right? So how can we trust anything about that or whatever? And then the elephant guy,
He starts to basically
he gives the elephant
give
guys,
his backstory to
give
to
yeah,
them.
and then he gives the elephant guy a trunk BJ.
Yeah. So as he's explaining this, and he's like, "Oh, I was horribly mistreated by these idol scouts, and I had to do these horrible things and whatnot." He goes up to the elephant guy, and the elephant guy is wearing like this costume, and he's like wearing like an elephant headdress. You can see his face poking
Yeah,
out.
and if y'all read this at all, you'll see the elephant guy in page one or whatever because he's actually in the preface of it, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
And then we get to see him at this point as an actual character. I had to go back and double check that because I was like,
Oh, really?
maybe two people will wear elephant suits. I don't know.
Yeah, and so yeah, he proceeds to jerk off the elephant trunk,
Yeah,
and he uses his special water attack on the with the elephant trunk. The elephant guy
y-
does. I don't even
yes.
remember what his name is. And
I
he like
I think his name is the same thing as the word he puts at the end, which is
okay,
effect.
okay, and so the interview goes horribly wrong, and they kind of feel sorry for Chiaki because of this whole made up story that he's got going on, where he's like been like a abused wannabe idol, and they even point out, "Oh, you don't have to worry about the mean uh, idol scouts ever again. Like, don't go around them." They take pity on him, kind of. Well, two of them do. Um, one of them just wants to kill him, and so we go from that to him the same day where he got hired onto this secret organization, which I'm still curious of. Why does the secret supervillain organization need to have an interview in an office building with like I thought that was so weird and like off the wall.
I just had to see this as one of those things of I couldn't really question it because if I did, then I felt like I would ruin the story for myself.
So the elephant guy's like, "Hey, can you do a job like now?" And he's like, "What? Like now?" And he gets off and goes to his job. They get into a van and he meets his team of weird, odd um supervillain members. I don't really. I think they're like, are they like grunts,
That's what I put him under,
like evil henchmen type of
probably.
thing? So
Yeah,
what they're gonna do? What their big plan is they're going to basically go to this. It's like a senator's house or a councilman. I can't remember what exactly they are. Uh,
it's a senator.
is it a senator? What they're gonna do is go write curse words on his house to intimidate him, basically, and to stop, fooling around with all the federal superhero stuff. So they put on these weird looking gimp suits. And for some reason, there's a dog with them as well.
He's one of the team.
And he's wearing his own little gimp suit. Excuse me. And so they go and get to this place to write the curse words, like spray paint curse words, onto said house. And they have the wrong kind of paint. They have white paint for a white house, and
Yes.
their terrorism slash vandalism goes horribly wrong.
And then the hero that we see pops in as well.
Yeah, and so the hero, they're like, "Oh my god, we gotta run! We gotta run!" And the hero's like running after. This scene was actually very well done, I think, where they're running away and trying to jump in the back of the van to leave. I thought that was really well done for like even like a little action scene because we didn't get a lot of action in this first volume. It's all pretty much set up. But what we got was really cool and I liked. And you see one of the guys who was in the van kind of gives Chucky a hard time and whatnot, and kind of
The foreign
trust.
guy that's the driver.
No, the other guy, the long haired guy.
Oh, okay. The leader.
Yeah, the leader of the henchmen. He's trying to like test his loyalty or whatever. He get hit in the back running at full speed, so he gets thrown with like the velocity of the superhero's punch. We don't even know who the superhero is, and he gets like flung into the back, and Chucky is like, "Oh my god, this guy has to be fucking dead," right?
Right. Yeah. Because he got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah. What happens next?
Mouth to mouth.
Chucky performs CPR.
Has to. I mean, in a series like this, there has to be resuscitation.
Right? He's able to revive him, which I thought this part was pretty funny. He revives him. They get out of there, and we follow the guy who got revived, the leader of the henchmen, and we see him leaving. And I had to read it twice because for a second I thought it was Chiaki, but it was him. And he's like, "Oh my god, I got my first kiss." I thought that was fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that part was a little weird
It
because
was weird. It was
it
weird.
was like this was the first time I died, and the first time I was brought back to live, and my first
First
kiss.
kiss.
And I was like, all right, okay. So the first two were kind of like icing in the cake.
Yeah.
The last one was like, okay, we don't even need a cherry on that. It's a fucking cake, okay?
Yeah.
you know.
So wrap us up with this. How does our manga end after their failed attempt at
So
being bad guys?
Chizaki goes because they split money, which is good.
Hmm.
Which I feel weird. I don't know if the dog got paid necessarily
Yeah. Did the dog get paid?
because he tells him to split it, but I'm like, how's the dog gonna be able to have money for that? Or even if like somebody else gets a cut of it, because I thought maybe the dog was the leader guy's dog,
Hmm.
and then I thought, well, maybe it's the van driver's dog, but then I'm also like, maybe it's somebody else that's in the organ. Like, what if it's the elephant guy's dog?
No, he's just
And
a member of the. He's just a member of the team.
I mean, right? But they didn't give us any information on what it was.
I think they kind of did, but like I don't remember it off the top of my head.
I don't know. I do not know because I just know that the other guy's like, why is there a dog here?
Yeah,
And
they reference it.
and I feel like we got caught in that whole thing
Yeah,
of questioning why is that dog here. Um, so we get that he goes home. He's able to buy these 10 chicken skewers. I guess the restaurant owner actually knows him, and he goes, "Oh, did you come into some good fortune? Because usually you only get 3.
yeah,
Let me get you a drink for this good fortune, basically."
yeah.
So he has a beer, goes home. They have skewers and everything. He realizes he's done good, and then
Mm-hmm.
out of nowhere we get this. He's staring at the ceiling, and then there's just this chick that's above him
Mm-hmm.
that takes her panties off, and here it is. And then it's like every horrible TikTok video that's out there. That's hey, 13-cent mustache rides,
That's actually how our comic ends.
or the easiest way to get your man to shut up, sit on his face.
so so
So
I'm gonna spoil a little bit from for the second volume.
you son of a bitch.
So they don't show you everything what happens and why the girl's there. They do in the second volume. And they give you the reason why she's actually in his apartment and stuff like that. So they don't show it, and that it's pretty odd in the first volume of how it ends. She's basically standing right over him, like in her underwear, you know.
Right.
But there's I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but they resolve why she exactly is there. But I'm not going to explain why.
Hmm.
She's a character you meet in the next volume.
Okay. Because I was confused if it was the character they kind of insinuated at the beginning,
No,
or if it was um, the general kind of looking army girl that was
no,
the third one in the with the elephant guy and the other chick.
no. She's actually somebody completely different.
Is she good or is she bad?
She's good. As
Okay.
of right now, I know she. As of right now, she's good.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how our weird comic ends. What did you think of this? Like, what were your thoughts of it when you read it, or when you even before you read it? Did you know what it was exactly what it was about?
Not exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what were your thoughts on it?
Um, what kind of fucked up Alice in Wonderland hole did I fall down? Because it's set up like you would understand most of it, but then it was like, okay, well, there's these superheroes, and it kept making me lean in between um um prison school
Hmm.
and don't meddle with my daughter.
Yes. We got
And
to cover
so
that one day.
I was kind of leaning back and forth, and I was like, I don't know which one it's going to be like next.
So, I mean, like you obviously read all of Prison School, correct?
No, I've read most of it.
You read most of it, okay? So you kind of knew what to expect at least going into this.
A little bit. I knew
Uh
there was probably going to be like the groping
huh.
thing happen.
Uh
Uh, didn't really think that the elephant trunk thing was going to happen.
huh.
Um, imagined that the cross-dressing mouth to mouth could have happened. Especially when they were like, "Hey, you have to do a mission now," and I was like, "Oh shit, there's gonna be some weird positions put in here."
Mm-hmm.
And then the ending seemed like that was something that would happen just
Yeah.
from this guy.
So, so going into this book, I knew to expect something crazy because of the fact it was the prison school guy's manga. Like he was the creator. So I going in, I thought it was gonna be like kind of far fetched a little bit. I thought we were gonna get more of a traditional like superhero story. I didn't realize it was going to take that weird sharp left into being, oh, you're going undercover as a supervillain basically, and you're, well, henchman, I guess you could say, And I was not expecting the cross dressing whatsoever. Like, because he doesn't look like a guy when he's dressed up as a girl.
No.
He looks like a girl. Like he cleans up nicely,
Yes.
to say the least. I was really surprised and almost like taken back. Like after I read it, I was like, "What did I read? Like what?" And I was like, "I mean, okay, um, this subverted all my expectations because it kind of pulled the rug out from under me really fast, and I was like, okay, this is not a traditional superhero story. This is something completely different and very. I felt like it was very like the creation of it was uh very well done, and I don't feel like it was nobody's ever done this before that I know of. It was a very creative spin on the superhero story, you
Right.
know?
I mean, like I said, the only other one that I felt like I could compare it to was Don't Meddle with My Daughter.
Yeah, but Don't Meddle with My Daughter is a pretty straight, almost like it has a lot of American superhero tropes.
Yeah,
This does not.
also true.
This is not like One Punch Man or My Hero Academia, you know, when it comes to superhero manga. This is something completely different, and I like it for being completely different. I am so happy it does not fall into superhero school manga. Can I just say
True.
that? Even though I like My Hero Academia, I get tired of them being in school.
Yeah,
Just saying. What do you think of the art?
I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought it was really good.
Uh,
I liked the art. It was very detailed at points. Even there was even some points where it looked like he possibly like traced over actual photos for like backgrounds and stuff.
oh, could be.
Like did some tracing and stuff, which I was fine. You know, I liked. I thought all the characters were very well done in this. He has a very good comedic tone when he's drawing and like I love like the face expressions and stuff like that. Like his comedic tone's on point.
Right.
But whenever they would get to those points where you would see like the guy when it would get like everybody would get like really sweaty and stuff like that, I always thought of the old like remember when like SpongeBob would have like those really grim and gritty like grimy pictures and stuff like that, or like Ren and Stimpy would
Oh yeah, yeah,
like those horrific pictures. That's what I thought of when I would get to those points. Like that's what popped into my head. But yeah, I enjoyed this book. I thought it was fun.
yeah. I mean, for sure. I really enjoyed this one as well.
Hmm.
It just wasn't what exactly I expected.
It's subverted your expectations.
Yeah, I think it's probably just so different from what I've been reading
Yeah.
that it just kind of was like, what?
So going off of this first volume, what would you give it as a rating, and would you recommend it to people?
Oh man, if I was going to recommend this to people, we would have to be some pretty good friends.
Well, it is a mature title, so you have to be over the age of 18 to read it. It's not a hentai by any means, but it is a mature title.
Right. Um, I don't know. I would probably give it a solid 4 right now.
A 4.
Yeah, just because I kind of know how it's probably going to keep going on, like prison
Hmm.
school. Um,
It's shorter than Prison School, though.
Even though I haven't finished Prison School, I feel like the way that it's going, it will end in a way that will be enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get to the end of Prison School before I finish this series, that could actually change the number in itself, just saying, because of how the guy chooses to end it and stuff.
I mean, it's supposed to be a 5-volume series, so
Right.
it's not going to be that long. Prison School is like 30 volumes? Something like that.
It's
20,
like
30 volumes?
16,
No, yeah, but those are omnibuses. Those are 2-in-1s, so you got to factor that in.
so 32.
Yeah, it was around like 30 volumes. But yeah. So, what are we talking about next week, Jen?
Next week, manga wise,
Oh wait, I didn't give my rating.
you
I
didn't.
would give it a 4.5.
Four
I
and a half.
I really a 4.5. I really liked it. I thought it was fun. I liked the characters. The main character didn't annoy me. You know, I enjoyed all the raunchiness. I like a good raunchy comedy. That's one of my things. Um, and I thought the story was well done, well told. You know,
Bunch of pervert.
the main character was very sympathetic in his plight to help his brothers out, help his family out. And
That's true. I really feel like probably most of his like innocence, I would say,
mhm,
probably is what made this enjoyable.
yeah.
So if he gets raunchier, I don't exactly know how I'll feel about it
Um,
then either.
as of volume 2, he doesn't. He stays pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll just have to see when we get there, though.
yeah. So what are we talking about for our next couple episodes?
Manga wise,
Just in general. What
mm,
what what can they expect next week?
we got some interviews coming up, some more
Hmm.
manga reviews, some movie reviews,
Hmm.
and maybe a couple topic videos.
All right. Okay.
So stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah, but you can contact us at otakuologypodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on most all popular podcast platforms. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcast, leave us a 5-star review and comment and leave us a review, and we will read your review live on our podcast. Yeah, this has been a fun episode. Uh, I'm glad we actually got to cover it finally, and
Yeah,
I got to have somebody to talk about this with
right,
because most people don't read this book.
right. And y'all will definitely have to remember that you can see us next Tuesday.
Yeah, or next Wednesday, or whenever we release this. Probably see you next Tuesday.